This is the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. So I just want to come on today, man, and say, like, you know, being on an artistic, creative journey where art is so subjective and appreciated by all but only loved by few. You feel what I'm saying? And like I think growing up, people always made art seem like out of reach. And what I mean by that is like it never seemed like a viable career and a path that you can actually make a living from. And I think, I studied art in school. I have a studio arts degree. And so going through school and, seeing the paths that some of my friends have taken, I don't agree with that. You know what I'm saying? I think now living in the creator economy being that, in order to like be self-sustaining as a creative now today, you have to have some type of creativity. And I think, you know, as we are all individuals and people that come from the greatest creator of them all, God, and according in my opinion. And so I think that us continuing to feed and nurture that creative ick, that creative juice, that creative spark, that a little bit of inspiration when a cool idea comes across your brain, I think that's like God showing up for us. You know what I'm saying? Like, because out of all people, like you didn't necessarily have to get an idea. I remember I had an idea for, I was like young. I was like, man, it would be so cool if car washes came to you. And look around today, like there's mobile car washes. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that I'm the person or creator or originator of that thought or idea, but I do remember having an idea of something like that when I was like much, much younger. And I think the greatest act of all is to honor the ideas that God has given us. And I think, I used to be so caught up in looking the part as an artist. Artists are, they're reclusive in some aspects. They're very thoughtful and intentional, and sometimes they can be assholes, and they can be very self-loathing. They can be they're very destructive to themselves in order to like feel and create from a place of pain, or create from a real place, a place that speaks beyond just the surface. You know what I'm saying? And so I think now I'm more or less in a space of just being comfortable and knowing who I am, like, and not being ashamed that yes, I am an artist. Yes, am I still working a 9 to 5 job in order to support myself? Absolutely, 100%. You know what I'm saying? Is anything wrong with that? Absolutely not. Like, I think I used to think like, oh, if you're an artist, then art, it should be the only thing that you do. Like, yeah, but there are those who are sometimes hobbyists. I don't necessarily consider myself a hobbyist, but because I have a long-term plan and goal of viable sustainability through what it is that I'm doing, through social media content, through having these types of conversations and talks, and in hopes to inspire the next generation of just artists and creatives. And so, as I'm finishing up my own projects, as I'm going through 4, 5, 6 different things all at one time and trying to, create some type of synergy and synchronicity around what it is that I'm doing and what it is that I'm building, as a creative entrepreneur. It takes a while. It took a while for me, at least. I can't speak for anybody else. It took a while for me to fully accept, like, this is who I am. Like, in the way I carry myself, in the way I talk, in the way I dress, like, it's just who I am. And I'm not necessarily interested in hiding those parts of me anymore. I'm not interested in dimming my light. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm just grateful to God to even come out here on this beautiful, beautiful rainy day. You know what I'm saying? The grass grows and never complains. You know what I'm saying? God feeds the water. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just grateful for the opportunity to and ability to create, to be a creative, to work with other creatives. All of my friends that are continuing to pour that childlike light into their creative pursuits, their creative projects, their careers. Like, kudos to you, hats off to you, and keep going, keep inspiring, keep being the change that you want to see in the world. And I think creativity is probably one of the most rebellious things that you can do. So I want to send you love on this lovely, lovely day. Because even though it's raining, that ain't stopping the sunshine. So again, my name is Mark Clark. I am a creative entrepreneur, art director, creative director, artist, man, myth, legend, father, son, uncle, cousin, husband, and I'm just grateful to share my own journey and making this thing sustainable, making this thing everything that I do because it's who I am, it's my heart, it's what I love, and doing something like this doesn't cost me anything. I don't dread it. I don't, I'm not looking at it from the perspective of like what I can gain. I think there comes a time when you're very like multifaceted and you keep building skills on top of skills, skill after skill after skill. That can also too cause confusion if you don't have the proper direction and or vision for yourself, as a creative, as just a regular human being at the end of the day. And so being able to speak from a place of clarity, speak from a place of like knowing and understanding and God making me who I am and trusting and knowing that who I am is good enough, who I am is equipped, prepared, and ready to handle anything that continues to try and come up against, myself as a man and then even my art, and so I'm okay with what I put out into the world, knowing that it's coming from a place of love. It's coming from a place of curiosity. It's coming from a place of like really, really, really trying, really, really spending hours and hours and hours obsessing over this thing. Whether it's the medium may be music, whether the medium may be poster, whether the media may be, well, graphic design is the medium, but the media may be, charcoal, pencil, pen, whatever the case may be, whatever audio form, visual form, like just the effort, what I mean, is there. And I want to make sure that's exuded through what I'm doing and what I'm putting out as an artist and creative. So if there's anything that you would like to see from me, anything you want to know, if there's anything that you think I can do to improve what it is that I am doing or you want to help with support, feel free, man. Feel free to reach out. Again, my name is Mark Clark. For those who don't know, I'm sending you love. Peace.